Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and in this video I will be comparing One UI 7.0 to iOS 18. Now, I did a video like this a little while ago where I compared Samsung Galaxy A15 versus iPhone 12, and this is sort of the same comparison, but we're not comparing the two phones, we're comparing their softwares. So I'm comparing One UI 6.1 versus iOS 18.4. And in this video, I'm going to talk about their differences and their similarities. And we're going to start with iOS 18. With iOS 18, you have the ability to customize your iPhone in more ways than ever before. Go up to here. We tap on our edit button. We have options here. And I am recording off of my iPad, so bear with me. We have our light options, dark, automatic, and tinted. Which gives the iPhone a tinted feel. Let's get out of that for now. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to set the iPad down quickly. Okay. And we also can place our apps wherever we want on the home screen. So if I go to the iOS 18 here, I'll take this app, move it right here. I'm going to take this one and move it here. We can pretty much place apps anywhere on the home screen you want, and you can do the same thing on Android. You pretty much can place icons wherever you want on Android as well. I know a lot of people might say that we've been able to do that for years on Android, which I understand because Apple just made that possible with iOS 18. But you now have complete control. On Apple, there's still a slight grid, but you have a lot of control on the Android side. However, I'm not sure how you would tint the icons directly on the home screen, as it's a little bit of a process versus on the iPhone where you just go to your edit button. You just go to your edit button and you will tap on customize, and then you have a tint option down here. Now then, as far as home screen widgets is concerned, one thing to know is that I have no buttons on the Galaxy. I kind of made it look very similar to an iPhone. Now, the one thing is the swipe up bar to swipe up apps. That is always here on the Galaxy, but it's gone on the iPhone, on the home screen. That is, of course, until you go into an app. Now, really quickly, I want to mention, if you want to know how to access your Google Assistant or Gemini with gesture-based navigation, You simply have to take your finger and swipe the bottom left sort of diagonal like this. Let's do it one more time. Again. So you take your finger and you slide up to the slight right like this. It does take some getting used to, but you get the hang of it. And that's how you access Gemini. And by now, a lot of you guys would know how to access Siri. You just press and hold the side button like this. Now we're going to be comparing Siri and Gemini together. So first, I'm going to ask a question to Gemini, and then I'm going to ask the same question to Siri. And we're going to start by asking, what's the weather in New Zealand? What's the weather in Christchurch, New Zealand?
In Christchurch, New Zealand, it's 61 and mostly cloudy. Today, there will be light rain, with a high of 69 and a low of 46.
Okay. Siri. What's the weather in New Zealand?
It's currently windy and 63 degrees in Wellington, New Zealand.
How about in Christchurch, New Zealand?
It's currently cloudy and 62 degrees in Christchurch, New Zealand.
You see, I don't have Apple Intelligence. Otherwise, I would get that wonderful animation that goes across the entire edge of the display. That's only for newer iPhones. As I mentioned in a lot of my videos, this is my iPhone 12. This is my product red iPhone 12. I hope someday I can upgrade and get the 16E, but for right now, this is my iPhone 12, and it doesn't support Apple Intelligence, but it does support iOS 18. Now I'm going to ask Gemini the battery percentage. What is the battery percentage?
Your battery level is 33%.
Now let's ask it on the iPhone. This time, I'm going to press and hold the power button. What is my battery percentage?
Battery is at 67%.
So far, Gemini and Siri are very great virtual assistants. It's also very similar to the Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and many others. Now, as far as their control centers, I'm going to clear these as I don't want to show anything that shouldn't be showed. I have Do Not Disturb on. However, I don't have it on my iPhone as I don't want to turn it on just in case if I get any important calls to come through, as the Galaxy has no service, but my iPhone does. So as far as their control center goes, well, the control panels look very different. In iOS 18, you have the ability to customize your control center. All you have to do to customize that control center, you basically just press and hold on the control center. And basically at that point, you would then have to swipe up to get to all of your different controls. Unfortunately, Apple removed Type to Siri, which was a control we got in iOS 18.2. They later removed it in iOS 18.3, unfortunately. But we do have some really great controls with iOS 18. Now on the Samsung, let me leave this one open here. On the Samsung, we do have some great controls as well. We have all of our same options, Wi-Fi. Somewhere right here we have dark mode, kind of similar to the iPhone. See, I just enabled it. Well, that's because I have my light icons turned on. So let me go into settings on both. There we go. Both of these screens are really bright. I'm not sure how bright the Galaxy is, but my iPhone 12 has a brightness of 625 nits. If that's not correct, then leave a comment in the comment section. But you can get 600 nits of brightness, and I believe up to 1200 nits of HDR content. I believe that's accurate. If it's not, comment that in the comment section. But it's really difficult to see the iPhone out in direct sunlight. So if you really want to see your iPhone, this screen looks brighter, but you should go for something that is brighter and easier to see. Now to turn on dark mode on the Galaxy, you go to your control panel and turn it on. Just like so. And it's also very simple on the iPhone. Now, as far as performance with these two, well, the Galaxy performs nice and good. I haven't ran any Geekbench scores, as I do have Geekbench, but you can also see I have Arc Search on these both. Let's go to apple.com on both. Apple.com. All right, let's go to Arc Search on my iPhone. Apple.com. The iPhone loaded up faster because I pressed the enter button first. But let's do some scrolling on both of these. Now, do keep in mind, I'm recording with my iPad, so it might be hard to give you guys real-time information here on these devices. But this is Arc Search on Android, and here it is on my iPhone. Swipe up on both of these. We're now going to go into YouTube, and we're going to go to my channel. Now, I'm going to turn the volume down. Hold on, guys. There we go. Hawkins Tech. And we're going to play my newest video from yesterday. We're going to do a speaker test on these. I did a comparison to the iPad. Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And in this video, I will be comparing the iPad 7th generation. So now let's go to here. Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. Hi, everyone. Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. So the YouTube app on Android looks pretty good, but I'm not facing that bug on a different account to where I could only scroll past 30 videos. If I go to my channel, you can see right here, it ends pretty quickly. It's been a week now since I faced this issue, so hopefully on iPhone we get version 20.14.3 of the YouTube version in the App Store. Now I want to take a look at cameras. Bear with me here, guys. The cameras on these are pretty great. You have your different modes on Samsung. Let's do some video tests. This is a test of recording from the Galaxy A15 and my iPhone 12 on the left. I'm doing an iOS 18 or One UI 6.1 versus iOS 18 comparison video. Let's go in the Photos app on both of these. And will give us a chance to compare these also. Google Photos versus Apple. This is a test of recording from the Galaxy A15 and my iPhone 12 on the left. I'm doing an iOS on the left. I'm doing it. So you have some great photos with Apple Photos and Google Photos. Obviously, a lot of people seem to think Apple Photos is confusing because of the redesign we got in iOS 18. So overall, it's really great. Now, as far as my honest opinion on what I think of these two softwares, for some reason, I keep accidentally opening the phone app on here. But what I think of these two softwares is One UI is an amazing software, and iOS 18 is also very amazing as well. You have widgets on both softwares, and I do have the same wallpapers on both of these. Now, as far as which one is my favorite, well, I like iOS 18, but also I love One UI 7.0. They're very good softwares, and these should work pretty good. Lock screens on both of these is the last thing we're going to compare. You do have nice updates with widgets and some other things. It looks really good on the iPhone or the Galaxy. So that's going to be about it for this video, comparing One UI 6.1 to iOS 18.4. If you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys later.